Good morning. I am Daniela Tsaniva. I teach Italian and French at the State High School Pushkin, in Varna, Bulgaria. Varna, a city overlooking the shores of the Black Sea, with its about 500,000 inhabitants, which in summer definitely double, is the third largest city in Bulgaria. The pandemic and Dad in Bulgaria. On March 13, a state of epidemic emergency was decreed throughout Bulgaria. In the immediate vicinity, the school summits, following the government and the local authorities' instructions, have suspended all the educational activities in presence for an indefinite amount of time. From the very first moment things appeared clear to our rulers, it was inevitable that the lockdown would have lasted until May 13. In these 2 difficult months the economy of our country was hit very badly, the production and the great industry, as well as the transports and the connections with the rest of the world, have been stopped, save for the green corridors for alimentary supplyings. As a result, tourism stopped, and all the culture centers were closed, theaters, cinemas, museums. Trade, on the other hand, has continued to guarantee the population every kind of necessity for daily living with a certain regularity. The measures adopted, however, have been much more contained than Italy and, despite this, the infections and victims of COVID-19 registered were really minimal, about 2,500 infected and 139 victims confirmed up to today. As far as the school world is concerned, the teaching activity has always been guaranteed and continues to be guaranteed in DAD mode, in accordance with a predefined daily schedule that, in principle, reflects times and modes, as far as possible, of teaching activity in the classroom. In this regard, some online platforms have been activated that allow teacher-pupil interaction in the form of a virtual classroom. Right now, there is no indication for second-grade educational institutions that teaching activities will be resumed, except for mature students in the 12 classes, who have already taken the final examination in presence in the early days of June, with arrangements for the safety of both teaching staff and pupils themselves. Moreover, after May 13, the kindergarten has reopened its classrooms to young learners, also and especially because of the urging of families who have organizational and logistical difficulties as parents-workers, while for classes ranging from 1 to 11, your primary and secondary school of I and II grade up to grade 4, the senior year, the school calendar will officially end on June 30 thanks to online lessons. Certainly, in this emergency context, DAD has its pros and cons that, probably, will be faced right after the end of the school year. Pros and cons of DAD. The pros: which can the advantages of distance learning be? First, DAD has allowed and allows teachers and students to devote themselves to training from where they want without the need to move from their home, thus also saving time. In addition, where lessons are recorded there is the possibility to enjoy them when you want and can, generating great flexibility. Imagine, for example, in the near future, the so desired, of the students, and not only, days of weather alert, decreed especially in Italy, lately. In such circumstances staying at home in DAD mode can certainly be useful for not missing days of school and therefore learning. With technological means, in fact, schools can continue to provide their own service and continue the educational path through live lessons, recordings, tasks, and direct or indirect contact with their students. But the goal is not only the formative one. In a situation like the present one, as a matter of fact, this mode of making school allows children above all, but also teens, to keep meeting their teachers and classmates, thus giving a sense of belonging and bond. It's not like being in the classroom and sharing moments, for sure, but it's definitely better than the total absence of contacts, growth, and development. The cons, on the other hand, however, making classes through technology cancels the dimension of the interaction between teacher and students and among the students themselves. Especially if training is based on recordings, this becomes even stronger and the student is alone in the learning process. Even when the lesson is live, there are no important elements that animate the lesson face to face. First, it lacks of the human contact and of direct communication, made not only of words and listening but of gestures, expressions, and little details that make a difference in the learning process. in listening and in understanding content. In addition, especially for children, for who the contact with the teacher is essential for growth and learning, the use of devices is very complex and may not be functional if not well used. If the lesson is recorded, you may have difficulty in concentrating and understanding, often because of the always equal tonality, the absence of a face to which associate the voice, the respect of the time of the learner, and much more. All things that in the ordinary lesson the teacher can consider and perceive from the signals he receives from the listener.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity, Olga. I'm very happy to be with you in this education seminar. I think this section is very important to change the learning experience around the world. I am a headmaster in a little school in a village in Seville. We have a wonderful education community and everybody is involved in the learning process. So when the COVID situation came to my school, we thought we were prepared, but that wasn't exactly true. In my school, every teacher works online using G Suite and the cloud. G Suite is a Google application for education. It's free for all schools. This site allows all of our teachers to use different tools and coordinate our action. Everyone in our school has a learning account, teachers and students. We create an account for each student of our school. They can use this account to learn in the cloud. We use different G Suite applications in our daily work. We use Google Drive to share documents about different subjects. In this application, the teachers change activity and form documents. Unlike the normal Drive, This drive gives us unlimited data storage, which is a great advantage for our schools. All of documents and activities are stored in this totally security virtual environment. We also use Classroom to teach our students virtually from a distance. All the students have class in the cloud for their different subjects. Every week, the teacher uploads the activity in the cloud and the students can run through tutorials. Students can complete exercises online where teachers can check them and write comments about the text, which is great education feedback. This week, also have an application called Meet. Meet is a very interesting tool for us. Fourthly, we use Meet twice a week to connect with all our office students for virtual class. At this time, children can ask their teacher questions. This meeting also serves to connect and practice English with other schools. Meet also allow us to have meetings with families. In this way, we can have a much closer follow-up with the student progress. We also use it with the staff to coordinate our action. Unlike other applications, Meet is a safe place for the exclusive use of our school. The environments offered by G Suite allow the data from all the education tools to be used for the student benefit because everything is connected. This is the way we have a teacher in the distance. Thanks, everybody.